As latest polls have been indicating, this presidential race is really deadlocked. For every detail, our Kim Bo-kyoung is here in the studio. Welcome, Bo-kyoung.
Hi, Jung-min. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for being here. Bo-kyoung, so voters just began going to polling station. How many are expected to cast their ballots?
Well, Jung-min, according to the Bipartisan Policy Center, the number of eligible voters for this year's presidential election is estimated to be 244 million. Now, 4 years ago, during the 2020 presidential election, over two-thirds of eligible Americans voted, 66.8% to be exact, according to survey data from the Census Bureau. Now, that was more than 158 million votes, marking the highest voter turnout since 1900, which was 73.2%. If we take a look at the early voting turnout, roughly 82 million people had already cast ballots as of Monday, showing how enthusiastic voters are to choose the next president. It is lower than in 2020, but given that 2020 was the pandemic period, we could still say the figure is still on pace for a historical high compared with other previous years. And this is why experts say projections from early voting indicate that the overall turnout for the election will be probably between 60% and the two-thirds of eligible voters who voted in 2020.
We will definitely have to see how many voters turn out this year. And can you tell us the battleground states and what the latest polls suggest?
Of course. So except for Nebraska and Maine, all the states in the United States follow winners-take-all system, where the candidate who receives the majority of the votes takes all of the state's allocated electoral votes. The Electoral College, consisting of 538 electors, is distributed across America's 50 states and the District of Columbia. This means a candidate must secure at least 270 electoral votes to win the presidential election. And this is why many media outlets say it is the road to 270. Now, based on several reports, Democratic Vice President Kamalalaheris has effectively secured 226 electoral votes, while former Republican President Donald Trump has secured 219. The remaining 93 votes from 7 battleground states are crucial in determining the outcome of the election. Wisconsin, Michigan, and Pennsylvania are grouped as the 3 major battleground states in the Rust Belt region. They were once known for their strong Democratic support, being dubbed the Blue Wall. However, in the 2016 presidential election, former President Donald Trump swept these states, propelled by the strong appeal of his America First policy. While in 2020, Democratic candidate Joe Biden reclaimed them all back again. Meanwhile, Arizona, Nevada, North Carolina, and Georgia are swing states in the Sun Belt, which includes 15 states extending across the southern U.S. from southwest to southeast and have hotter climates than the northern states. The latest polls are showing a close race between Harris and Trump, with some even contradicting each other's surveys in the 7 battleground states that I just mentioned. For example, final swing state polls from Emerson College and The Hill showed Trump having this edge in Georgia, North Carolina, Pennsylvania, and Arizona, while Harris was ahead in Michigan. In contrast, polls from the New York Times and Siena College showed that Harris had a slight lead in enough states to win the Electoral College.
Bo-kyoung, so there are 93 electoral votes from 7 toss-up states, as our Park Gun-woo has been reporting. 2 states do not take a winner-takes-all approach. Tell us about this in detail.
Sure. So we talked about how a candidate can win this race through the system called the Electoral College. But 2 states do not follow this winners-take-all system, but instead allows electoral votes to be split, and they are Nebraska and Maine. Now, in Nebraska, 2 of 5 electoral votes go to the winner of the statewide vote, and the rest of the electoral vote goes to the winner in each of Nebraska's 3 congressional districts. Now, Nebraska is largely a red state, but the swing district around Omaha, the state's largest city, is called the Blue Dot, as it went blue for the first time in 2008, voting for former President Barack Obama, and then went blue again for President Joe Biden in 2020. Now in Maine, 2 of 4 electoral votes go to the statewide winner and 2 go to the winners in each of the 2 congressional districts. Maine is a Democratic stronghold, but the second congressional district, where 72% is rural, is known as a red dot, with Republican-leaning voters having supported Trump in both the 2016 and 2020 elections.
Of course, we will have to closely look at these states as well. Thank you, Bo-kyoung, for the report.
Thank you.